Before we get into the main topic of this video, let's take a look over at the numbers and see how Superman is doing at the box office. At the time of this video, it currently sits at $614 million worldwide. Domestic is $353 million, international is $261 million, right? It's already catered off there. You look at it because it's already been released on digital. It is just going down and down and down. And yeah, this is pretty much the end of its theatrical run. If it makes another million, maybe another 2 million, something like that, that's about all it's going to make. That is officially the end of Superman's box office run. James Gunn Superman box office run. It is going to be at about probably, I don't think it's going to go past 620 million at all. That's about all she wrote for this. That's in regards to it. Now, James Gunn has announced a sequel to his Superman movie called Man of Tomorrow. Now, I know everybody is paying attention a little late on this, but what happened is that when this information came out, I wanted to wait in regards to it because James Gunn usually does this thing where you'll announce something today and then like maybe 2 days later or so, he'll announce some other thing or get some other information or something in regards to it. So that's what happened and that's why I waited. And we end up with the information in regards to what's up, the fact that he's announced the Man of Tomorrow. And he had some other information in regards to the movie. And apparently he's kind of identifying with Lex Luthor. It's weird. But let's cover this bit of information first. Right? The article from Cosmic Book News. Superman sequel Man of Tomorrow gets a release date. James Gunn made the big announcement that the Superman movie follow-up will be titled Man of Tomorrow and is set for release on July 9th, 2027. Gunn posted Jim Lee art featuring David Corenswet as Superman and Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor in the war suit. Man of Tomorrow in theaters July 9, 2027, said Gunn, who is writing and directing. This is the art here. It does look good. Jim Lee does some good art here. Lex Luthor in the war suit and Superman there holding a screwdriver. That's what's going on. Not a big fan of Superman's outfit. And it just looks like he's wearing a diaper. That's the thing. It didn't look good in the movie either at all. So Gunn has made it clear that the new movie isn't a direct sequel to Superman, which has passed 611 million at the box office. How it's not a direct sequel to Superman when that's basically what it is. That's basically anyway. We're scheduling it now. I'm totally done with the treatment. My treatments are incredibly intense. They're not regular treatments. They're 60-page treatments with dialogue and everything. And so now I'm just turning that into a script. We're planning out when we're going to shoot that. It's going to be much sooner rather than later. Gunn recently filled in Collider. Gunn added that the Superman follow-up is already in the planning stages and will not take long to move into production. I've already finished the treatment for the next story in what I'll call the Superman saga. The treatment is done, which means a very, very worked out treatment. I'm working on that and hopefully going into production on that not too far away from today, said Gunn. Superman has a major role. It's not Superman 2, said Gunn to fans on Threads, adding, I'm not sure how you define direct sequel. I pretty much think of Peacemaker Season 2 as a direct sequel. Now, Peacemaker Season 2 is getting some backlash because, episode 1 had a full-blown orgy in it and nobody could understand why. Understand me? But James Gunn likes to do this thing wake up and pretend, listen, it's not an actual sequel, but it is a sequel, or he basically tends to mislead people too much. But like I did in a previous video, I said that, it's probably about time we start to worry about James Gunn's DCU. think that needs to happen, right? Because they have Peacemaker season 2 is currently airing on HBO Max, which got a boost in viewership. Supergirl hits June 26, 2026. Clayface is currently filming for its September 11, 2026 release date. Man of Tomorrow flies into theaters on July 9, 2027. Now, this is all well and good, but the problem is that James Gunn originally came on and said he had a 10-year plan for what he was going to do. And this is basically how it broke down here, right? It wasn't that Superman was supposed to be the thing that keep changing all kind of stuff. What happens is that, right? It started with Creature Commandos, right? I reviewed Creature Commandos, it's terrible. Then it was going to follow up with Waller, then was going to have a Superman movie, then Lanterns, then The Authority, then Paradise Lost, then Batman Brave and the Bold, then Booster Gold, and then Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, and then Swamp Thing. So far, we've gotten Creature Commandos. There's no information on if Waller is going to happen at all. We don't know. Superman came out, so it wasn't a good movie. It was terrible. I have I cannot say it was good at all. I know people like it. Okay, good for you, but I thought it was terrible. Superman was basically getting his ass kicked for like 2 hours. That was about it. We have the upcoming Lanterns, and the art and information we've been getting from it isn't good at all. Doesn't look like it's going to be good. We haven't gotten any information on if the Authority is going to happen at all. The whole Paradise Lost thing makes no sense to me. Okay, don't get me wrong. I like the whole concept of Paradise Island, a whole bunch of Amazon women on an island, fine, no problem. As long as they ain't killing me, I'm happy to go there and enjoy myself, no problem with it at all. But let's be perfectly honest. Unless Wonder Woman is there, nobody cares what's going on Paradise Island. Literally nobody. And the fact that James Gunn said he wanted to turn this into some kind of Game of Thrones type thing, who wants to see that? What, women backstabbing each other? Why? No, but like I say, nobody's interested. As long as Wonder Woman isn't on Paradise Island, nobody cares. That's a fact. Nobody cares. Then we have the Batman Brave and the Bold. We don't know when that's coming out. If it's coming out, we don't know. Because it's supposed to be Batman and Damian Wayne. We haven't heard any update on what's going on with that. Who's been there was a talk about how this director was on board to do, but then we heard the director moved on. They brought in somebody else, and now we haven't heard a damn thing from them at all in the longest while. Nothing. Booster Gold was supposed to have the guy who was in Eternals. They wanted to have him play Booster Gold. No, nobody asked for that. Nobody cares. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow is the next movie that's coming out after Superman. And that was supposed to be all the way down the line. And let's be perfectly honest, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow depicts characters in the worst light possible. That's not really the character supposed to be at all. But that's what you're getting. And then we're supposed to be Swamp Thing. I haven't heard anything about Swamp Thing at all. You understand me? There talks about how we're getting Clayface and how it's going to be some kind of different take on it and all of this. What is going on? This is what's going on. James Gunn came out and initially said he had a 10-year plan for the DCU. And we're just getting stuff thrown all over because you started off with Creature Commandos, didn't do good at all. You know what I mean? Nobody even talks about it anymore. You had the Superman movie, and now you come out and announce, you're going to be getting a next Superman movie in 2027. But before that, you're getting Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. We're going to have Superman's drunk cousin going around doing things. Yeah. That's what we're getting. That's what we're getting there. But because James Gunn needed to add a little more fuel to the fire, he followed up and actually gave some information about details about the Man of Tomorrow film. Right? Right. New details about it. where they announced it and stuff, they didn't come out, this is the artwork and that was there before. Okay. In an interview with Howard Stern, Gunn provided details about the film. He shared, it is a story about Lex Luthor and Superman having to work together to a certain degree against a much, much bigger threat. And it's more complicated than that, but that's a big part of it. It's as much a Lex movie as it is a Superman movie. Now, the rumor is that it's going to be Brainiac they're going to have to be dealing with, right? But then James Gunn went on, and this is where it started to get a little weird. He added, I relate to the character of Lex Luthor, sadly, and so I really wanted to create something extraordinary with the two of them. And oh man, I just love the script so much. I'm excited for people to see the movie. So he relates to the character of Lex Luthor. And he loved the script so much, he's excited for people to see the movie. The same way he loved the script for Superman, which was Superman getting his ass kicked for almost 2 hours. Okay, yeah, well, good with that, all right. Later in the interview, Gunn went on to provide details about Luthor's character. That's the center of Lex for me. Really talking about Lex Luthor here, people, that's what he's doing. The center for Lex is that 3 years ago, before Superman came along, he was considered the greatest guy in the world, even with other meta-humans and superheroes in the world. You see, this is the part that makes no sense. I'll continue this, but this is the part that makes no sense. Because here's the thing. If you're saying Lex Luthor was the greatest guy 3 years ago, even though it had other meta-humans and superheroes, why would Superman showing up affect that? Why? Other people could fly, other people could do things, but for some reason, like Superman was the straw that broke the camel's back. It doesn't make sense. You see, it only makes sense when done the original way, because Superman started the age of heroes at DC Comics. And once he appeared, all the other heroes started showing up. And this is what made Lex Luthor feel inadequate in that regard, because Superman is the greatest of them all. But what you have, because of James Gunn movie, literally degrading Superman to be nothing, because, that's why, okay, they were meta-humans on Guardian, and Superman just showed up. They were meta-humans on Earth for over 300 years, and Superman just showed up. That was it. No big thing, that's there. Okay, he's there. Fine, let's move on. And then the whole thing with his parents sending him to Earth to conquer it and, build a harem and bang from sun up to sundown. Yeah, that was going on. And let me continue. He was still the smartest. He's created a kind of battery that's never existed before. Okay? Tony Stark did that. He doesn't go around feeling inadequate at all, but whatever it is. He's handsome, he's good looking, all the women love him. He's considered the greatest man in the universe. And then in one fell swoop, this guy comes in wearing a silly costume with dimples and a charming smile and a great chin, and he's forgotten. And he's a distant substitute. How is Lex Luthor a distant substitute? I think it makes no sense. When you write the character like this, when you write the movie, when you write the characters, it doesn't make any kind of sense. As you say, Lex Luthor did all these things. Superman didn't do it. And you literally portray Superman in the movie as a man baby, throwing a fit and all this nonsense. That's what you were doing. Continues on. And Lex is a human. He's got to fight a super. He's got to fight a man from another planet who can hold up a building. You got to admire the tenacity of someone to take on that challenge. It's heroic if he weren't so evil, Gunn elaborated. Heroic if it weren't so evil. The thing about it is that Lex Luthor in the movie actually admitted he's a jealous, petty, miserable individual. He admitted that. But this is what's going on. So James Gunn is out here saying, you know what? I identify with Lex Luthor, the bold-faced criminal psychopath in my movie. I identify with that. Understand me? I initially had a 10-year plan that has apparently been thrown out the window now, because I'm doing the legacy of Superman. I have Superman movie come out then, and the next time I'm going to do, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, and then you have another Superman movie coming up. I in a Superman movie, I identify mostly with Lex Luthor. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I am really, really getting worried about James Gunn having anything to do with the DCU at this point. Honestly, I'm really getting worried about it. But that's the update. So Superman Man of Tomorrow is the next movie that's coming out. We have the Superman movie here, which is at present has about 614 million. That's what it's got. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow is coming out. And then followed up, that is gonna get another Superman movie that James Gunn is claiming isn't a sequel. Superman Man of Tomorrow. Title might change. James Gunn does that sometimes, but that's what's happening. That's what we're getting, people. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, then hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time I post a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.